In 3 years, everyone you know will vanish. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Just a single word carved into a tree. Croatan. And 400 years later, historians will still be searching for answers. The date is August 15th, 1587. You're one of 117 English colonists living on Roanoke Island, off the coast of present-day North Carolina. This is England's second attempt to establish a permanent settlement in the New World. The first attempt, 2 years ago, failed. Those colonists returned to England. You're here to succeed where they didn't. You wake in your rough wooden cottage. The walls are thin, the roof leaks, but it's home. The only European settlement between here and Spanish Florida. You're surrounded by wilderness and Native American tribes who aren't sure if you're friends or enemies. Your governor is John White, an artist and explorer who led this expedition. His pregnant daughter Eleanor just gave birth 9 days ago to Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas. A symbol of hope, a new beginning. Except there won't be a beginning. In 3 years, Virginia Dare will be gone. Her mother, Eleanor, will be gone. John White will be gone. You will be gone. Every single person in this colony will disappear without explanation. Right now, you don't know that. You're planning for winter, planting crops, building relationships with the Croatoan tribe. Hoping Governor White's supply mission to England returns quickly with food and reinforcements. The colony is fragile. Food supplies are running low. Relations with some native tribes are hostile. The Spanish in Florida view English presence as a threat. And winter is coming. But you have hope. This is the new world. Opportunity. Land. Freedom from English poverty and religious persecution. A chance to build something new. You pass the palisade fort. Armed guards watch the forest. Tensions are high. Last week, a colonist was killed by natives while crabbing alone outside the fort. The message was clear. Stay inside. Don't wander. Governor White will leave for England in a few days to get supplies. He promises to return within months. He'll be gone for 3 years, delayed by the Spanish Armada War. When he returns in August 1590, the colony will be deserted. The houses will be standing but empty. Possessions left behind. No signs of violence. Just that word, Croatoan, carved into a post. Not the distress signal they agreed upon. No Maltese cross, indicating danger. Just a word pointing to the nearby Croatoan Island, where friendly natives live. But no colonists will ever be found. The lost colony will become America's oldest unsolved mystery. Over 400 years of theories. No answers. Right now, though, you're just trying to survive. Build a life. Make this work. You have no idea you're living in the final chapter of a mystery that will never be solved.
The settlement is small, barely a village. About 20 crude wooden buildings inside a roughly triangular palisade. The fort is more symbolic than defensive. It wouldn't stop a determined attack. Your cottage is one room. Wattle and daub walls, woven sticks covered in mud and clay. Thatched roof made from local reeds. A dirt floor. One small window with no glass. A fireplace that fills the room with smoke because the chimney is poorly constructed. You share this space with your wife and 2 children. Privacy is a luxury you left in England. The colony's layout is practical. Governor White's house, slightly larger, serves as the administrative center. A storehouse holds dwindling food supplies. A workshop for carpentry and blacksmithing. A common area for cooking and gathering. Everything designed for survival, not comfort. Outside the palisade, garden plots. Corn, beans, squash, learned from the Croatoan natives. English crops mostly failed. Wheat doesn't grow well here. The soil is different. The climate hotter and more humid than England. You're learning through trial and error. You work alongside other colonists, reinforcing the palisade, gathering firewood, preparing for winter. The work is constant, exhausting. There's no leisure class here. Even Governor White does manual labor. The community is diverse by 16th century standards. Men, women, children. Craftsmen, farmers, soldiers. Ages range from newborn Virginia Dare to elderly men in their 50s. Some are here for opportunity, some for religious freedom. Some are criminals given a choice, colonization or prison. You notice tensions. Ananias Dare argues with another colonist about food rations. They're barely adequate. If Governor White doesn't return soon with supplies, starvation is possible. A woman tends the garden, her children helping. She's worried. Everyone is. The Croatoan tribe has been helpful, teaching fishing techniques, but other tribes are hostile. The Socotan remember English violence. They want revenge. Governor White addresses the colonists. He's leaving for England in a few days. I'll return by spring with supplies, reinforcements, and news from home. He doesn't know he'll be delayed 3 years by war. The colonists have mixed feelings. Losing their governor feels dangerous. Who leads? Eleanor Dare holds baby Virginia. A symbol of success. She'll vanish with everyone else. 3 years from now, this settlement will be silent. Empty.
A delegation from the Croatoan tribe arrives. They're led by Manteo, a Native American who traveled to England with the previous expedition and returned. He speaks some English. He's your translator. Your connection to the indigenous world you barely understand. The meeting happens at the Palisade Gate. Governor White, several armed colonists, and you attend. Manteo translates. The Croatoan bring gifts, fish, deer meat, corn. You offer metal tools, cloth, beads, trade, alliance building. But underlying it all, suspicion, mutual distrust, different worlds colliding. The Croatoan are part of the Algonquian peoples. They've lived here for thousands of years. They know this land. The English are newcomers, vulnerable, dependent. Manteo explains the political situation. Several tribes inhabit this region. The Croatoan are friendly for now. They see potential benefit in English alliance. Metal tools, weapons, trade goods unavailable elsewhere. But other tribes, the Secatan, the Weepemiok, remember English violence from the 1585 expedition. Those colonists killed a Socotan chief named Wingana, burned villages, took hostages, created enemies. Those enemies want revenge. And you're here, easy targets. Governor White tries diplomacy. Through Manteo, he explains, we're not those colonists. We want peace, trade, mutual benefit. The Croatoan listen politely. But you see calculation in their eyes. They're assessing, deciding if this alliance helps or hurts them. The reality of colonial America. Europeans need Native Americans more than the reverse. You need their food, their knowledge, their tolerance. They could wipe out your colony any time. Only politics, tribal rivalries, curiosity about European goods keeps you alive. 3 years from now, the leading theory about the lost colony is integration. Maybe the colonists joined the Croatoan tribe, intermarried, assimilated, became part of Native American society. If you want to witness another moment when European colonization meets Native American reality, Jamestown, 1609, when the starving time almost destroys England's first permanent colony. Subscribe, because colonial survival depends entirely on indigenous goodwill. When the starving time almost destroys England's first permanent colony. Subscribe, because colonial survival depends entirely on indigenous goodwill. For now, the Croatoan leave. The trade is complete. Relations remain stable, but fragile. One incident, one misunderstanding, one colonist attacking a native, and everything collapses. You watch them disappear into the forest. Their world, not yours. Your guests here, uninvited. Tolerated. Nothing more.
August 27th, 1587. Governor John White prepares to depart for England. The ship waits in the harbor. He'll sail back to get supplies and reinforcements. He promises to return within months. He won't return for 3 years. The colonists gather at the shore. Anxiety is visible. Their governor, their leader, their connection to England, is leaving. For months, maybe longer. Anything could happen. White addresses them one final time. I leave reluctantly, but we need supplies, food, tools, more colonists. I'll return by spring with everything we need. Hold the settlement, maintain relations with the Croatoan, stay vigilant against hostile tribes. And if you must leave, if disaster forces relocation, carve your destination into a tree. If you're in distress, add a Maltese cross above it. Simple instructions. A contingency plan. He doesn't expect to use it. The most painful goodbye, Eleanor, his daughter. Holding Virginia, his granddaughter, barely 3 weeks old. The first English child born in America. Father, please return quickly, Eleanor says, fear in her voice. She knows the settlement's precarious position. Food is low. Natives are unpredictable. Winter approaches. I will, White promises. Take care of Virginia. When I return, we'll have everything we need. This colony will succeed. He doesn't know he's lying. The Spanish Armada will attack England next year. All ships will be commandeered for defense. White won't be able to return. And when he finally does, August 15th, 1990, 3 years later, Eleanor will be gone. Virginia will be gone. Everyone will be gone. You watch White embrace his daughter, kiss his granddaughter, turn toward the ship. He looks back once, waves, then boards. The ship raises anchor. Sails catch wind. It moves slowly away from Roanoke Island. White stands at the rail, watching the settlement shrink. His family, his colony, his responsibility. The colonists remain on shore, watching, until the ship disappears over the horizon. And then they turn back to the settlement, alone, isolated, vulnerable. Ananias Dare puts his arm around Eleanor. He'll return soon. We'll be fine. Will they? Food supplies last maybe 2 months. Winter will last 4 or 5. The crops might not be enough. Relations with natives are fragile. Disease is always a threat. The Spanish could attack. So many ways this could go wrong. You return to the settlement. Life continues. Work, survival, waiting, hoping Governor White returns quickly. He won't. And when he does, he'll find an empty colony. Houses standing. Possessions left behind. A word carved into a post. Croatoan. But no people. No graves. No evidence of what happened. Just absence. Mystery. The lost colony. Right now, though, you don't know any of that. You're just trying to survive another day in the new world.
Months pass. Governor White doesn't return. Winter is coming. Food supplies are critically low. The colony faces a decision. Stay and potentially starve? Or relocate? The Croatoan have offered help. Mantier suggests the colonists move to Croatoan Island, 50 miles south. Better fishing. More resources. Safety in numbers with the tribe. Some colonists want to go. Survival is paramount. Others want to stay. Wait for White. He might return any time. If you leave and he arrives, he won't know where you went. That's why White said, carve your destination. Leave a message. The debates are intense. Families argue. Some want to split. Half stay, half go. But splitting makes both groups weaker. Ananias Dare speaks for relocation. We can't survive winter here. The crops failed. Fishing is poor. The Croatoan offers shelter and food. We should accept. Others disagree. What if White returns tomorrow? We'd abandon the settlement for nothing. The unnamed colonist leading the stay faction. We carve Croatoan into the post. White will know where we went. He can follow. But will he? Will White have resources to search? Will he even be able to return? These are the questions haunting the colonists. Unknown futures, impossible choices. You participate in the debate. Your family's survival depends on this decision. Stay and risk starvation. Go and risk missing White's return. The winter of 1587 to 88 will be brutal. Historical records showed was unusually cold. If the colonists stayed at Roanoke, many would likely die. But if they left, joined the Croatoan tribe, they might have survived, assimilated, intermarried, become part of Native American society. That's the theory many historians favor. The Croatoan carving wasn't a distress signal. It was a destination announcement. The colonists relocated, integrated with the tribe, lost their English identity over time. Some evidence supports this. Later English settlers reported meeting Native Americans with European features, gray eyes, light hair, English words in their language. Could these be descendants of the lost colony? Maybe, or maybe not. The evidence is tantalizing but not conclusive. The mystery remains unsolved. Right now, though, the decision hasn't been made. The colonists are still debating. Winter is approaching. Time is running out. What would you choose? Stay and risk death? Leave and risk missing rescue? There are no good options. Only survival. The fire burns low. The meeting continues. Outside, darkness falls. And somewhere, 3 years in the future, Governor White is sailing toward an empty colony, carrying the supplies that arrived too late.
The decision is made. The colony will relocate to Croatoan Island. Survival requires it. They'll leave a message for Governor White. He'll understand. He'll follow. Preparations begin. What can you take? What must you leave? Possessions are limited. You'll carry what you can. Abandon the rest. Someone carves Croatoan into the palisade post. Large letters. Clear message. No Maltese cross. No distress. Just destination information. Another carving appears on a tree. CRO, partial, interrupted, or abbreviated. Historians will debate this detail for centuries. The colonists dismantle what they can. Tools, weapons, valuables, everything useful for starting over. Heavy items, furniture, iron stoves, are buried. Maybe they'll return for them later. They won't. Those buried items will be found by archaeologists 400 years later. Physical proof of intentional abandonment, not sudden disaster. Eleanor packs carefully. Baby Virginia is 6 months old now, fragile. The journey to Croatoan Island will be dangerous. 50 miles by boat. Winter waters. Risk of storms. Ananias helps. We'll survive, he tells her. The Croatoan will shelter us. White will find us. Everything will be fine. Will it? The historical record goes silent here. After the CROO2AN carving, nothing. No English accounts of what happened. No definitive proof of the colonists' fate. Theories abound. Joined the Croatoan tribe. Assimilated over time. Killed by hostile tribes. Died from disease or starvation during relocation. Split into groups. Scattered across the region. Captured by Spanish forces from Florida. Moved inland. Established settlements that later failed. Some combination of these? All of them? None of them? The mystery persists because there's no body. No mass grave. No skeletal evidence. Just absence. You take one last look at the settlement. Your home for months. The place where Virginia Dare was born. The place where England's colonial ambitions collided with American reality. Then you walk away, join the others, board the boats, sail toward Croatoan Island. Toward survival, toward history's blank pages. Governor White will return in August 1590. Find the settlement empty. See Croatoan carved. Want to search the island. But his ship's captain will refuse. Storms threaten. Supplies are low. White will return to England having failed to find his family. He'll die never knowing what happened, never learning Eleanor's fate, never seeing Virginia again. And 400 years later,
We still don't know. The lost colony remains lost. America's oldest mystery, unsolved, perhaps unsolvable.
August 18th, 1590. Governor John White returns. 3 years late. The Spanish Armada delayed everything. War, shortages, political chaos. He came as soon as possible. He approaches Roanoke Island with hope and dread. 3 years. What will he find? The settlement is empty. Houses standing but unoccupied. Possessions scattered. The palisade partially dismantled. Nature beginning to reclaim the space. No bodies. No signs of violence. No graves. Just absence. Then he sees it. Carved into a post. Croatoan. No Maltese cross. No distress signal. Just the destination he told them to carve if they relocated. Relief mixed with new anxiety. They moved. They're alive. Probably. Maybe. He needs to get to Croatoan Island, but the ship's captain refuses. Storms are approaching. Supplies are running low. The crew wants to return to England or head to the Caribbean. Not risk another storm searching for colonists. White begs. His daughter. His granddaughter. The colonists he abandoned. The captain is unmoved. They sail away. White will try to organize a rescue mission. He'll fail. Political priorities shift. Interest wanes. Money runs out. He'll die in 1593, never knowing what happened to Eleanor and Virginia. The lost colony becomes legend. Then mystery. Then obsession. Over 400 years of theories, archaeological digs, scientific analysis, DNA testing, historical research, books. In 1998, archaeologists found a 10-carat gold ring near Croatoan, English-made, dating to the 1580s. Oral traditions among the Lumbee people of North Carolina claim descent from Roanoke colonists. Some Lumbee have European surnames matching colonist names. Coincidence? Or evidence of immigration? In 2012, researchers discovered 2 hidden patches on Governor White's map, covering symbols that might indicate secret relocation sites. In 2015, archaeologists found 16th-century European artifacts at a site 50 miles west. Did some colonists go there? Every discovery raises new questions, provides pieces of a puzzle that may never be complete. The most likely explanation: the colonists relocated to Croatoan Island, integrated with the tribe, intermarried, slowly lost their English identity. Descendants survive today, but can't be definitively identified. But that's not romantic, not mysterious. So the speculation continues. The lost colony industry thrives. You, the colonist who experienced this, would be baffled. You made a survival decision. Carved a message. The answer: because White couldn't search. Because records were lost. Because history went silent. Today, you can visit Roanoke Island. Fort Raleigh National Historic Site preserves the location. The Crooa carving is recreated. Exhibits explain the mystery. Tour guides speculate about fates. But nobody knows. Not definitively. Not yet. Maybe not ever. The lost colony remains lost. Virginia dares fate unknown. America's oldest unsolved mystery. A blank page in history where 117 people vanished. And you were there. Living it. Not knowing you'd become a ghost story told for 400 years. In our next journey, we'll visit Jamestown, 1609. This time, they'll survive. Barely. Through the starving time.